What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the AK Show with your boy AK the Ref. How is everybody doing on this Saturday? I hope everybody has had a wonderful week so far. Thank you for tuning in, but you have made it officially to the weekend. There we go. Yes, indeed. All right. We are here on the AK Show. But before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers before the end of the year, and we are slowly moving in the right direction. But I thank everybody for the continued support on the AK Show, the AK podcast, on the YouTube page. Thank you for tuning in. We here, baby. Oh man, we here. Let's get it up. Man, it's been a long week. Had to take my car to the shop on Wednesday. Had some engine trouble, but it's gonna get fixed. Have it back on Monday. So I'm glad it's. I mean, I needed some spark plugs replaced and some the fuel injection. Yeah, so just got to get that fixed, and then got to get some other stuff fixed too, because I got to keep this car running. It's an 09 Corolla, because eventually I want to give it to my oldest daughter when she starts driving. So it's at 171,000 miles. So I don't want to get a new car yet. Still want to keep that one and then give it off to my daughter, and then I get a new car. So yeah. But right now that's in the shop. Oh man, it's just been a long week. It feels like it's been a long week. Football practice after work. You know, other daughter has ballet. Always gotta drop her off and pick her up from ballet. It's been go for like the last 2 months. Man, football practice is long, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with football practice right now. We got 2 games left, so yeah, man, let's get it. 2 games left. Let's get these last 2, so we can finish the season 5-1. Because we lost 1, but we get to replay that team again our last game of the season. So hopefully we can get that win. That game we lost was 7-0, by the way. So I was like, it was close. It was a tough game. That was our toughest opponent yet for our team. So we get another shot at them on the 21st. But first we got this game up coming on Monday. So let's just get that dub and then go in and get ready for, I guess it would be our rival in a way. I mean, I would say that's our rival because they compete with us on another level, the same level as our team. Even in like basketball too, they're always difficult to play. So I want to get this win on the 21st, but we got to take care of business on the 14th, right? Monday the 14th. Take care of business there, and then all focus is on Indian Woods coming for that dub. Let's fucking go. Chiefs won on Monday night. That was great. Oh man, it was fabulous. I was at the game. I was watching. I was like, yeah, I feel like that's the best the offense has played all year. Defense is still being the defense. They're playing great all season. I think the Chiefs defense is the best defense in the league. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And yeah, you can call me a homer, but show me a better defense. Show me one. Look at all the running backs they have shut down. None of the running backs they have played have averaged over like 3.5 yards a carry. They shut them all down. Just go look. They shut them all down, and then they make them into a passing team and make them one-dimensional. And yeah, we don't really take the ball away, but we don't let teams score points. So, I mean, really, yeah, you want to take the ball away, but if you can hold teams from scoring a lot of points, that's going to help you win in the long run. And yeah, the offense ain't been playing great all year, but we still find ways to win. And they find scores when they need them. And this past Monday, they played great. Oh, that was their best game. I won't say great, okay? That was their best game. I mean, Mahomes was out there slinging it, and Kareem Hunt was out here running for 102 yards. Juju out here getting a $130 and a touchdown. Should have had 2. He dropped the one in the end zone. I was like, it bounced off him. They got the pick, and yeah, it just looked good. I mean, we're down 2 wide receivers. If you count Hollywood Brown, he's been out since the beginning of the season. and then we lost Rice, we lost Pacheco. It don't matter. It don't matter. We have the mentality on this Chiefs team is next man up. That's what the coaches have preached. That's what this organization has preached, and it shows. Like next man up. Juju out here having 130. What I think it was 9 catches for a $130. 1 touchdown, should have been 2, but it's okay. He had that one big long catch and run. I was like, oh, Juju looking like Juju. Hey, Juju can look like that. I mean, yeah, I'm not expecting like a $130 every game, but if he can give you like 80, if he can give you like 6 for 80 in a tub, I mean, that would help. And then we're going deep to Worthy, who should have had 2 pass interferences called for him, but he only had 1. The other one, bullshit. That was pass interference too. And then Kareem Hunt out here just running like a motherfucker. 127 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown. Man, I'm telling you. And then when Pacheco comes back, I'm gonna enjoy that 1-2 punch with Pacheco and Hunt. That's gonna be nice. That actually is gonna be real nice, and it's gonna help Pacheco because he won't have to take a lot of punishment, and then you'll have him ready to go for the playoffs, and you'll have both of them. So I'm actually gonna like that, where they can like split the carries, or if maybe who's ever hot that game just takes it. I'm okay with that. I don't know how you would feel as a running back would be okay with that, but if you're about winning, you're doing every you can to help the team win, and then save you for like the playoffs. So I'm gonna enjoy that, and you still got Carson Steele. He can come in every now and again and be like a fullback too, and be a blocker because he does run hard. It's just ball security. He's got 2 fumbles, and one was in a critical situation. One was in the beginning of the game against the Chargers. So, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the Chiefs at 5-0. We got a bye this week, which I wish it was later in the season. But then I was listening to Mitch Holtis on the radio this week, and he's talking about like this bye week's perfect timing because you gotta remember they've been going. You count the playoffs, the Super Bowl. As soon as the Super Bowl is over, it's right back to training. They don't get no time off, and then it's minicamp, and then it's those mandatory mini camps, off-season conditioning, and then there's that little time off before they go to training camp. And Andy Reid training camps are hard, and then it's straight preseason into the season. So he was explaining that like that was still a lot of time with like no really time off. So this bye week at week 5, everybody may think, oh, it's so early, but for them, it probably helps to get that a week off of doing nothing, because they've been going hard since the playoffs to the Super Bowl. And then as soon as the Super Bowl's over, it's right back to it. Because you're already in February, it's preparing for the combine, free agency about to happen, off-season conditioning is happening. We're getting rookie mini camps, and then before you know it, the draft's here, and then you got rookies reporting. So if your like team doesn't make the playoffs, it's like, oh, you have like 2 months to like rest. But if your team goes all the way to the Super Bowl, you ain't got no time. It's like it's right back in there. It's like right back at it. So I'm okay. This is whatever. We have a bye week. Let's rest up and let's come out fucking booming and get to the playoffs. That's all that matters. Getting to the playoffs and being healthy. That's all I care about. But I'm happy with the Chiefs and the way the defense is playing. I'm happy overall for the situation that the offense is in with all these injuries. As long as we can just keep doing what we do. If we do what we did on Monday night, the rest of the season will be fine. We'll be fine. I'm not worried about the offense. But yeah. Let's go, Chiefs. Bye week this week. I hate when there's a bye week for my team. It's so annoying. I hate it. But yeah, man, let's get it. On today's show, I wanted to just talk about the Royals. I haven't talked a lot about the Royals on this show. I didn't really watch the Royals this season because I didn't have Bally Sports. I didn't pay for it. I mean, we went to a couple games. I watched them when they were like on TV, like when they were actually showing on TV. But I kept track of what they were doing and things like that. So, and the other time I talked about them was when they were playing Houston in the wild card round. But the Royals, let's get into it. I just want to go over the Yankee series, what I think went wrong, and why they didn't come out on top in the series and move on to the ALCS. So the Royals made the playoffs this year. after going 56 and 106 last year. They only won 56 games last year. They're, I think, dead last. Maybe I didn't know they're dead last in their division. But then this year, people were excited. They're like, "Hey, the Royals are gonna do some stuff. They're gonna make some noise." And nobody was really expecting them to make the playoffs this year. They were just expecting them to improve, and then next year make the playoffs. So they came out starting out hot because I wasn't watching, but I was keeping track of what they were doing and listening to sports talk. We got the Royals. We only have two. We have four sports teams, but on sports talk, they only talk about the Chiefs and the Royals, really. I mean, they'll talk about sporting here and there. They'll talk about the current here and there. But the two major sports teams, the Royals and the Chiefs. And when it's baseball season, it's Royals talk every day. Because you have that time in there where it's like, after the baseball season starts, there's the draft. And then there's like really nothing else until training camp starts. So it's like baseball talk. It's Royals talk. So I'm keeping track of them on the phones, of what they're doing, and be like, okay, they're starting off hot. I was like, okay, they're winning, and then they lost some, and then they win some, and then we get the break, and it's like, okay, they're in a great position. They're right where they need to be, and then like that's when they start talking about playoffs may be a real possibility. I'm like, okay, let's keep track of what they're doing. You know, after All-Star break, they're playing the games, blah blah blah, and then we get to a point. I think it was like end of August. They're talking about the Royals are right there in that wild card spot. If they just keep continuing to win and not have like a long stretch of losses, they'll be in the playoffs. And then there was one point where they were like, the Royals are locked for a playoff spot unless they have a complete meltdown. And we're like, okay, cool. I was like, there's like still 3 weeks left. I was like, they'll be fine. And then they lost like 6 in a row. I'm like, oh boy, they are having that complete meltdown. And then they got back and had a streak of wins and then a couple losses, and then it came down to like those final 5 games where it's like 4 or 5 games where it's like, okay, if they go 3-2 or 4-1, they're in the playoffs. And then they won a game, won the next game, and then Minnesota lost, and then that got them into the playoff spot. And so their last 2 games didn't really matter. So they had to fight all season long to get to that wild card round against Houston. And then they went and took that game against Houston. Took that series against Houston and then moved on to the ALDS against the New York Yankees, the hated Yankees. And if you don't know about the Royals and Yankees rivalry, maybe you should go look it up. It is a wild one from back in the day, like the 70s and 80s. They hated each other. Like, just go, like, look up Yankee Royals rivalry from the 70s and 80s. They hated each other. It is wild. And a lot of people still hate the Yankees, but back in that time, rivals were real. The rivals back in those days of sports, like 70s, 80s, and 90s, and early 2000s, especially way back when, they hated each other. It's like, I don't fucking like you. I don't like you. I want to beat you, like physically beat you. Like there's a one where the Royals are playing the Yankees and George Brett, who's a Royals legend, slides into third, punches the third baseman, and stays in the game and finishes the game. I'm like, that's fucking wild to me. Like if you do that shit today, you'd be ejected and probably suspended. You'd definitely be ejected, and you're definitely going to get fined and suspended for like God knows how long. In this day and age, of doing something like that. But that's back then. That's what rivalries, man. Royals and Yankees just hated each other. Go look it up on YouTube. It's great. Go listen to people that were involved in that rivalry tell the stories from back then. Like, yeah, I hated the motherfuckers. We hated each other. It was great. So we got this. We got this. This goes way back when, and I don't like the Yankees. I don't like them. I just don't. I just don't like the New York Yankees. I don't like the fans. I'm not a fan of it. I'm like, they're annoying. I don't care. I don't care. And congratulations that you won. Hey, y'all won. No, I could take away from you. But I want to talk about what went wrong with the Royals in this series. So we can talk about game 1. Game 1 was bullshit. I think that call at second base, he was out. Everybody in the mama know he was out. Everybody in that stadium knew he was out. Everybody on the Yankees knew he was out. Everybody on the Royals knew he was out. The broadcast team knew he was out. They even said, that's a bad call. He was out. I don't know what we're doing. They even zoomed in and showed space between his foot and the bag and the tag being made, and there was still space between his foot and the bag before his foot touched the bag. It's like, what are we doing? That call right there sealed the game 1 for the Yankees. It was over. Yeah, the Royals had opportunities to overcome that, and they didn't, and that's on them. But still, why are we having replay if you're not going to make the correct call? The correct call should have been out. That changed the momentum in game 1. And they were able to get game 1. And the Royals got game 2. And now we come back for 2 more games in Kansas City, up, or is it 1-1, and then it's Wednesday, Thursday. So overall, pitching wise, we did okay. There was a lot of walks. I mean, there was 22. The Royals had 22 walks. Their pitchers, 22 walks through the first 3 games. You can't put yourself in that type of situation to where you got to bail yourself out and make it more nerve-wracking than it really needs to be, because these are close games. You can't just put free base runners on base. And then what was it? Was it game 3 where they walked? They had the bases loaded and walked 2 runs in. I'm like, you can't have that. It was either game 1 or game 3. It was one of those games where they walked 2 batters in. I was like, you can't just walk batters in like that. That's not going to win you games in the playoffs, because every run matters. Every little thing matters. And you're walking people, that's not a recipe for success. But 22 walks in the first 3 games of this series is not it, because you're putting yourself in bad situations that you got to climb up out of. And yes, at times the pitching got them out of it. They got them in that situation, but they also got them out of it. But then at times you have the 2 walks that give you 2 runs. It's like you can't keep walking these batters. You can't put just free base runners on and give them that chance, because you got 2 on single. As you say, you got 1 on third, 1 on second. The singles are going to score both of them. And if they got on base because of walks, that's not going to help. And so, but the starting pitching was still good. The bullpen was still good. It was just the walks. It was the walks that was a problem. And I don't know if it was because the bright lights playing the Yankees and the ALDS, maybe our pitching staff didn't have the experience it needed. I don't know what the case was for all the walks in this series, but it was a lot. It was a lot, and it put you in bad situations. But other than that, the pitching was fine, because I felt like this series, it was all about the pitching. And we had ample opportunities to win Wednesday and Thursday to move on to have a game 5 to actually would have been today at Yankee Stadium, which I would like to see that. I wish it would have went game 5. Then if it would have went to 5 games, it 50-50 at that point, up for grabs. But I think if the Royals took game 1 at Yankee Stadium, I feel like they could have took game 2 and then come back here. I think they could have got 1. I feel like if they would have got game 1, either they would have ended it in Kansas City, or we'd be back here for game 5. I don't know. But yeah. But like, this was a pitching duel. It wasn't technically a pitching duel. It was good baseball. It was pitching. There's a little bit of hitting. It's mostly pitching. They were using a lot of pitchers in all their games to the bullpen. It's like, you got to use what you got to use. Hell, you even have to have one of your starters come out of the bullpen, because you want to move on. You're trying to get to the next round. You got to do what you got to do. And there was a lot of rest in between the games. I mean, yeah, there was the 2 back-to-back games, but before that, it was Saturday. Then there was rest. Then it was Monday. Then rest. Then Wednesday, Thursday. Then if it would have went to game 5, but another day off, and then Saturday, game 5. I mean, in these types of series, a 5-game series, all hands on deck in pitching. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the Royals did well pitching. It was just the amount of walks that they kept giving the Yankees free base runners. You can't do that. Offensively, they just couldn't get anything going. And it was frustrating to watch the hitting because when I was watching, I didn't get to watch every inning of every game. I saw innings here and there from all 4 games. I mean, all 3 games, all 4. Right? We played 4. Yeah, because we had all 4 games. I watched bits and pieces, and I watched multiple innings from all 4 games. But whenever time I saw the Royals hitting, I just felt like they're undisciplined at the plate. I felt like they were swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. They were taking pitches that were in the strike zone. When you had 2 strikes on them, they were taking pitches that were close. It's like when you're down in the count, 2 strikes, you got to swing at anything close. I saw Bobby Witt do that. It was a full count. The ball was low and on the corner. I was like, you got to swing at that. That's too close to take. That's too close to take. And I just felt like every time every batter was hitting, anytime they were down, even anytime it was tied or 0-0 or whatever the case may be, they were up a run, I felt like every at bat, they were trying to do too much. I felt like they're trying to swing for the fences, trying to swing for a home run. I felt like every batter on the Royals lineup was trying to do too much instead of just, hey, let's go out here and play baseball. Let's just swing the bat. Let's get on base. They're sitting here trying to swing for the fences. I felt like that. That's why they're chasing pitches out of the strike zone because they have all this pressure. It's like, oh, we're down 1. They're trying to get it all back in one swing. You can't do that in baseball. You can't do that in any sport. You're not going to get it all back in one play. Yeah, if it's tied or you're down by 1, yeah, you can get it back on a home run. But you trying to go out there and hit a home run, you're not going to hit a home run. You just got to take the ball where it goes. Outside corner, take it opposite field. Down the middle, take it straight back up the middle. Inside, pull it, take it over there. Put it in the gap. Just put the bat on the ball. Make a play. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like the Royals hitters were just trying to do too much. And when your top 3 best players on your team are not doing what they need to, then the other players on the team have to feel like they have to do more than what they normally do. And that's where I think them trying to crush the ball on every at bat, on every swing, put them in that situation. Because Witt went 2 for 17 in the series. Vinny Pasquantino went 1 for 15, and Salvi went 3 for 16. These are your top 3 players on your team, right? You can't have that. You cannot have that at all. A collective of 6 hits in the series between your 3 best hitters, your 3 superstars. 6 hits. 6. Now, I'll repeat that. They had 6 combined hits between the 3 of them. That's not going to get it done. And then that puts pressure on the other players to try to do more than what they usually normally do. You can't have that, especially with Bobby Witt. You can't go 2 for 17. Vinny Pasquantino, I can understand going 1 for 15 because he was hurt and he came back from injury way earlier than expected. But Salvi's got to do better than 3 for 16. I mean, I saw his last at bat on the game on Thursday, and I was like, why are you swinging at this? And then you're taking a pitch. And then you're swinging at the high pitch to get a call strike 3 because you're trying to knock it out of the park. Instead, it's just, we need work to count. Don't be too aggressive. Like, we can't be aggressive in that moment. We gotta take our time. We gotta work to count. I felt like at times the Royals hitters were not working the count, and they were making it easy on the Yankees pitchers instead of just going in there and be like, okay, let me go in there and work this count. Oh no, that's a bad ball. They were being overly aggressive, and they were trying to get everything back on one hit, and you cannot do that ever. You got to go in there and stay calm, cool, collected, and you just got to hit the ball. Like, you can't go in there and just be like, I got to get this back on one pitch, right? Because you had only person that was really hitting was Tommy, is it Tommy Ham. He was the only one doing something really. He get on there, he hit the ball. because he wasn't trying to do too much. He was doing what he knows how to do. I mean, he went 3 for 3 in game 4. I don't know. He had a couple hits in game 3. I mean, he was really the only one hitting the ball in this when he was out of bat, and that's what we needed from Witt and Vinny and Perez, and then you get some other hits from your other hitters here and there, and the Yankees weren't doing any better from their superstar player. I mean, Aaron Judge wasn't really doing nothing, but they had other guys step up, and they didn't try to do too much. I mean, you had what? You had Stanton, who went 2 for 3, had a home run in game 3 that sealed the deal. Pitcher put the ball right over there, and when he swung the bat, he didn't even swing it hard. It's like he just put back the ball and it went. I'm just like, you can't. With that, Torres went 2 for 5 in game 4. They didn't have a lot in game, but you had Stanton go 2 for 3. You had Judge go 1 for 2. Then he had a walk. You had Soto go 1 for 4. I mean, they had more hits. They had more base runners, and they had 2 people go at least 2 hits in game 4. And the Royals were sitting there like couldn't get anything going with the bats really in all the series. Even the game they won, it felt like it took everything for them to get those runs. And it just doesn't help when your superstars go for collectively of 3 hits. I mean 6 hits in 4 games. Bobby went 0 for 5 in game 1. And I don't know what it was, but that's when you need your superstars to show up. Is in the playoffs. You need them. That's how you get to the next level, the next round. That's how you win the whole thing. Your superstars have to show up. If they do not show up, you're screwed. Unless you have a collective of other good players on your team, then yeah, like Judge, yeah, he's a superstar on the team, but they have some other solid hitters. They have Stanton. They have Soto. They have Torres. They have some players that can step up in times and get some hits. The Royals didn't, because we needed our 3 superstars on our team, Witt, Vinny, and Perez, to do more than they did, and they didn't. And I just felt like everybody was just the hitting to me, the plate appearances, it was just undisciplined, and I could see that in all 4 games. I was like, what are we doing? Like, we're trying to like do too much. We're trying to force it instead of just having a good at bat. We're trying to do too much, and I blame that on the hitting. That to me, that's coaching. That's having to see that and be like, we got to tell our team, like, if you're the hitting coach, you got to see that. You got to tell them, like, hey, we need to be more disciplined. We need to stop chasing balls. We need to work the count. Hey, we can't be swinging and trying to hit the ball out of the park on every swing. Because that's, to me, what I was watching, that's what it seemed like I was looking at. Every at-bat, every player trying to swing for the fence, trying to hit a home run, trying to crush the ball. Instead of just working the count, being disciplined, making the Yankees pitchers work, making them build up their pitch count, and getting hits off of them. Instead, they're swinging at bad pitches, trying to hit everything, trying to force it, trying to do too much. I blame that on coaching. I blame that on hitting coaching. I felt like hitting was a problem in the series, and it showed. And I felt like that's on the coaching to go in there and adjust and tell these guys, like, hey, this is what's happening. I'm pretty sure they have to go be watching after every at bat. They're watching. They're on the iPad. They're watching, like, oh, this is the pitch. This is what you swing at. This is what you did wrong. Like, are you telling them? Because if not, then new coaching. Bye. You gotta go. But yeah, that's where I think the issue lied was, the amount of walks. Your superstars are only getting 6 total hits in 4 games, and just the hitting in general. Like I said, the 22 walks. I don't think the pitching was great for the Royals. I mean, yeah, they gave up some runs here and there, but it was the 22 walks. And that was in the first 3 games. I don't know how many walks they had in the in Game 4, but I know they had some. But that's so many walks. And then they just couldn't get anything going. 6 hits from your superstars. It's not gonna get it done. Like I said, I don't care what you do in the regular season. When the playoffs start, I need you in the playoffs. I need you performing at your best. And we didn't. Our 3 players didn't. And that's why they're not going on to the next round. Because if they perform adequately, they're moving on. I think they take both games at Kansas City and they're going on to the ALCS. But when your players that you need, your superstars, when you need them and they don't show up, you're losing. Unless you got other people that can step up and take that pressure off or come in the clutch, we don't have those other type of hitters. So, but the Royals had a good season. I mean, it's not a failure. And you're not really mad or sad. You're more of like disappointment, like, we were right there. We could have got that. But you're not like mad. You're not like angry or like sad or heartbroken. This is not a to me, this is not a heartbreaking loss in this series. You weren't even expected to make the playoffs this year. And then you kept winning and you kept putting yourself in position to have a chance to make the playoffs, and you did. And then you won in the wild card. And then you moved on to the ALDS. Like, you blew out the expectations out the fucking water. So there's no way nobody should be heartbroken about this loss. This is just, yeah, you could be disappointed, but you shouldn't be heartbroken. You shouldn't even be mad. It's like, it's disappointing because we had chances. If these 3 could have done better, we probably win the series. And we're moving on 1 round to win to get to the World Series. Like, it was right there. It was right there. And so, to me, this was a successful season for the Royals, knowing that they were supposed to improve and maybe make a run, try to get to the playoffs, but nobody expected them to make the playoffs this year. Nobody. I'm sorry. If you did, you should have played and bet. Nobody was. And then as the season progressed, they're like, oh shit, they really have a chance for the playoffs right now. Oh, this is legit. This is legit. And then they made it. They won 56 games the year before. 56. You don't ever expect a team to come out and be like, oh yeah, they're going to make the playoffs this year. They're like, I think they'll have a good season. They'll improve from what they did last year. And then they made the playoffs. Big ass improvement. They're dead last in their division. Dead fucking last. 56 and 106. They turn around and make the playoffs with a record of 86 and 76. A 30-win improvement. They probably should have had more because they had like that 6-7 game losing streak that almost got them knocked out of the playoffs. Give them 6 more wins. That's a big ass improvement. So the future is bright for next year. It really is. I mean, really, all they have to do is get some more bats, get some guys that can come in there and hit the ball and get on base, get some more bats. I mean, you still got Witt. You have Vinny coming back 100% healthy. You still got Perez. And if they keep doing what they're doing and they make the playoffs and they come through, then I feel real good. And, work on that bullpen, because I think on the defensive side, on the pitching side, that's where the weakest part is, the bullpen. Starting, pitching's fine. I think the weakest part is the bullpen, and then getting some other bats to go along with what you already have. And getting some veterans too that you can bring in that have that playoff experience. So I'm excited. It's going to be interesting to see what the Royals do in the offseason, but I think that's what they need to do: get some bats, get some better bullpen pitching, and I think they'll be right there for next year. They come out, let's go. They know. Listen, they know what it takes to get there, and now they know what it takes to win when they're there. This is going to make Bobby Witt better. He's going to go and be like, okay, I know what I need to do now. Vinny, I know what I need to do now. Perez knows what he needs to do. He's been there. He knows. He had a bad series. It is. You can't have all 3 of them. Like, if you have at least one of them having a good series, maybe you get the win. You have 2 of them, you'll probably get the win. You have all 3 of them having a good series, you definitely get the win. So it's just one of those things like, okay, Bobby knew it. He knows what he needs to do. Bam. He knows what it takes. This team knows what it takes to get there, and they know what they need to do to get to the next level. And that's going to come with the front office, making some moves, getting some bats in here, getting some pitching in here, and let's get ready for the 2025 season. So it's gonna be interesting. So, but congratulations to fucking Royals. That was fucking impressive. The year before, 56 wins, coming to 86 wins this year, and making the playoffs and making it to the ALDS and taking the Yankees to 4 games. That's fucking impressive. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's not a disappointment. It's not. It's not. You're not heartbroken. If you are, then you can't be. All you see is this is excitement for next year, and let's wait till we do what we do next year when add some more to this team and make this team even better. Maybe we get fucking 95 plus wins, 100 wins next year. Maybe get that first round bye, and don't have to be in the wild card. Let's fucking go. I'm excited for the fucking Royals next year, but you know what it is. But congratulations to them on it was a successful season. Let's just put it that way. But I'm happy for them. Disappointed, but hey, future's bright. Let's fucking go. Royals next year, World Series. Let's get it. Let's fucking go. But that's all I got for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not gonna watch baseball. My team's out. I'm not. I don't care. I mean, I love sports, but I'm not gonna watch other teams play in the playoffs in the championship game. I just don't care. Listen, I'm not gonna watch the ALCS. I'm not gonna watch the NLCS, and I'm not gonna watch the World Series. My team's already out, so I don't care who wins. I really don't. But it is what it is. I'm just worried about my team. My team ain't in it. I don't want to watch it. I mean, really, the only game I will watch that my team, if they're not in, is the Super Bowl. But yeah, I mean, really, that's the only game I'll really watch. Like, if I'm not gonna watch the finals if my team's not in it, the NBA finals. I'm not gonna watch the World Series if my team's not in it. Once my team gets eliminated, I'm done. Like, whatever, cool. I'm done. I'm ready for next season. That's just the way I am. Like, I still love sports, but I love my teams more, and I don't want to watch other teams because it would just piss me off. That's just the way I am. But you know what I said. Here we go. Subscribe to the YouTube page, like it, share it, comment on what you think the Royals should do in the offseason to make this team better. And will Bobby Witt, if they do make the playoffs, will he have the same type of outing he had this year, or will he improve, or would it just be one of those things like he's good in the regular season, but when he gets to the playoffs, he can't do nothing. I don't know what it is, but we here, we out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. You know what it is. He's your boy AK the Ref. I'm out. Until next time. Peace. Let's fucking get it. Oh. Yeah, man. I gotta go. 11:30. I'm gonna go watch some TV. Goodbye.